I have a project planned for today that I have had in the works for months. How many of you have it happen where you run out of feed for your animals often? I know I hate to admit it, but it happens. It happens to us quite often where we come out in the morning and we're like, oh, gotta go to the feed store right now because we're out of feed. So stay tuned for that project, which will be coming up soon, where we're gonna show you kind of a redone feed room, storage system, an ordering system for the feed. Gonna be a really good winter project, maybe something you can copy at your own homestead. I hinted at it back when I was hanging those tools up on the wall. I told you that I was working on this feed room, coming up with a good feed system, and I was gonna show you that soon, and I didn't know how soon. You see, we wanted to improve our feed system for this farm. We wanted to save money and run a more efficient farm, but to do that I needed one thing, and that one thing is now here. Let's take a look. There it is. It is a shelf, a big metal shelf. I know it doesn't look like it yet, but I have legs for it that are going to attach to it, and it's going to stand up. And that shelf was so important to this whole thing, which we'll get to in a minute, this whole new feed system we're gonna do here, because that shelf can hold 1 ton of feed. The chickens that you hear clucking over there, there it is. They eat a ton of feed. I shouldn't say a ton, because I actually mean that shelf can actually hold a actual ton, like the weight of a ton. So the chickens over there eat a bunch of feed. How's that? Cows behind me eat a bunch, they eat a little bit of feed. Goats eat a little bit of feed. All the animals on this homestead eat feed. Whether you purchase your feed from Tractor Supply or from a local feed mill, wherever you get it, you can save money on feed if you buy it in bulk. Tractor Supply, if you buy a ton of feed, they actually will let you have a discount at 20 bags. If you buy 20 bags, that's about half of a ton of feed. They'll give you, I believe it's 10% off. Next time you go to Tractor Supply, ask them about their feed discount and thank us below. Comment below if that saves you some money in the future. Noisy chickens. My feed mill, who I was buying all my pig and chicken feed and cow feed from back in Connecticut, they'll ship feed anywhere. They have an amazing good quality feed. They'll ship it wherever, but I need to be able to get at least a ton, and when I get it by the ton, they do give me a discount. So I can save money buying feed by the ton, but I had nowhere here to put different kinds of feed. You see, back at Squash Hollow, we did have a solution. Let me show you that. You see this thing all the time in our drone shots. It's really windy out here. If you can't hear me, I apologize. That big blue thing is a 1 ton feed tote chute that my father-in-law, who runs a welding and metal fabrication shop, he made that for us. We traded him a pig for that back when we first started doing pigs. And that can hold a ton of feed, but it can only hold one type of feed. You can't put chickens, cows, pigs, goats, etc. So, back at Squash Hollow, that worked out okay because we only needed 1 ton of pig feed because we were at the time selling pork and raising lots of pigs, and we saved a lot of money buying 1 ton in a bag and putting it in that big tote. But here we're doing a much different business off of our farm. We'll get into that more this year as we start actually running a business from this farm. But really the business here mostly is not bulk meat like it was at Squash Hollow. And so we will not be going through 1 ton of one kind of feed. Instead, we go through a couple bags of scratch, layer, meat chicken, guinea feed, turkey feed, a couple bags of cow feed, the goat feed. And those containers there can all hold 2 bags. This is what our feed bags look like. Oh, big heavy bags, whew, of finely ground up dairy feed or pig feed. Those come from a feed mill back in the Hudson Valley of New York. Farmer Ben over at Stonehouse Grain makes an incredible non-GMO and organic feed. He has non-GMO and then organic non-GMO, both options. Each animal specifically ground to the right size with the right nutritional additives put into the feed. Last time I brought pigs to my butcher, I raised them purely on Stonehouse Grain's feed, and my butcher said he'd never seen me bring him better looking pigs. Normally my hanging weights for pigs were 200 pounds. In the same amount of time, these pigs got to 300 pounds off of Ben's feed. Stonehouse Grain is located in the Hudson Valley of New York, but they will ship a ton of feed anywhere. If you want it, they'll ship it to you. And they make their prices on non-GMO and organic incredibly reasonable. They are so reasonably priced when compared to what you would pay like at Tractor Supply or something else for a better quality feed, all grown on site there with a couple of things added into the mix. You know, things like seaweed, which you can't grow in the Hudson Valley of New York. But stuff that's good for your livestock. It's a great quality feed. I am in no way sponsored by them right now, but I am telling you about them a little with the hopes that maybe we could work something out, me and Stonehouse Grain, because I love them. So if a bunch of you head over there, ask them for information, say, hi, I heard about you on Homesteady. They make great stuff. And even if they didn't sponsor me, which they aren't right now, this is not sponsored, I would tell you about them and tell you how great they are, because they have great stuff. Anyway, to get their feed here and any other feed in bulk cheaper, I need to be able to handle a ton, but I can't take 1 ton of one kind. I need to be able to get a bunch of different kinds, which is why today my son, who just arrived, and me are going to be building this shelf. So I came up with a basic idea of what I needed. I needed a shelf that would hold 1 ton plus a few extra bags of feed. It also needs to be able to fit in this room with those feed containers underneath it. Drew up a quick picture, sent it down to my father-in-law's fabrication shop, and this is what they've put together for us. So I gotta say thank you to them for helping us out with that. And today me and my son are gonna put it together and set it up in there, and something tells me we're gonna have to send your grandpa some bacon as some thank you. What do you think?
Yeah.
Maybe a few farm fresh eggs too. Shall we get working?
Yep.
All right, we're gonna put this shelf together. We gotta empty that room, we gotta put this together, lots of work. Let's get cracking. Looks good. All right, the room is cleaned out, which means we're ready to bring the big 1 ton shelf in. This thing is super heavy. Whew. Wow. Pieces of wood. Get me those pieces of wood. So this is where...
You could help me, that's why I'm here.
Yeah. So I'll lift and you... Will that hurt you? Okay, so you just gotta go like a little bit hung up. So let's go either side together so we don't bend the leg. Be like me now, would it?
They're gonna get squeezed.
Let's go ahead and use that ball.
There it goes.
I can't.
Wait, I want to get this one.
We did it. Almost.
Shimmy on my way. Shimmy on my way.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Great.
This is the true test. Can I fit it?
You want to grab this bag of feed
Oh yeah.
out from the van?
Look, yes. Get all the feed in here.
Alright.
And shavings. How about shavings on bottom, feet on top?
Well, that's it. Not yet, actually. We won't bring it in, but Mommy can do hers. That looks so nice. Oh man, that is exactly what I wanted. Oof. Now, the last thing I want to do, I want to drill a couple holes in the back and just put some big old lag bolts into the building just to keep it from tipping forward. Not that I think it ever would, but a little extra security. That's one reason that flap's up there. And then we'll fill this with feed, stack it with feed. Oof, this thing.
This project we've been thinking about and working on.
Long time.
Yeah.
That is exactly what that's for. Now, I know, before you comment below, it's going to be quite a workout to stack the bags pretty high. But the idea is to really only have about 4 of each bag. So as long as I can go like this, but that is going to make this room be able to hold all the feed we need, and it's going to look nice and clean. And when we got to fill these things, it's going to be easy. The space in between them is very much on purpose. This is a feed room, which means mice are attracted to here. Every place where we have things, you need to allow space for a cat to run through and kill a mouse. So that space is specifically enough space for a barn cat to get in there and pounce on a mouse. So, got to think of all this stuff when you're prepping for your feed room. All right,
we get?
just got to screw it to the wall. Let's find something to do that with. The other reason that we did all of this, not only is this to save us some money so that we can buy in bulk, but it's also going to help us not make the mistake that I just realized we have made yet again this week, which is we have run out of feed. We have chicken feed in there, just a little bit. We have a little bit of goat feed, but then fortunately we have the one bag. But now visually, we will come in here and we will see right above the feed container a visual representation, boop, 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 bag, 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 bag. And we'll be able to see, oh, we have 4 bags of chicken feed. We have 3 bags of goat feed. We only have 1 of, cow feed. Better order more cow on this next order. So it'll help keep it very visual what we are getting low on and prevent us from running out of feed like we've been doing. One of the reasons we've been running out of feed is because we have not been buying a lot of it because we had nowhere to put it and keep it. We've been buying it 2 bags at a time because that's what these containers could fit. But we go through those really quickly. So now we'll be able to buy a ton of feed, a literal ton, not a lot, like a literal ton, and go do 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 do. It sounded like a video game, didn't it?
Yeah.
I bet you have other friends who are interested in homesteading who would like to know how to save some money on feed this year. If you could share this video with them and tell them a little bit about our channel, we would be really grateful. Go up to your URL bar there, copy and paste, share it on social media, share it with a friend, and help our channel grow. Thanks for the support.